What if I were to tell you that today I have a ton of brand new Metroid Prime 4 footage that was not part of the typical press cycle yesterday when it comes to the previews published in Europe and the United States? And what if I were to also tell you that I have a ton of brand new details to go along with it? None of this is leaked information either. This is all official stuff Nintendo wants out there, because it turns out that in Japan, they actually played a different demo of Metroid Prime 4, giving us some additional footage there. But it's not even just that. They threw official footage up on the Nintendo Japanese website for Metroid Prime 4 and a ton of details. And when I say, like, we're not talking like 10-second clip here. We have over 11 minutes of brand new footage to bring your guys' way. This stuff is really exciting. I want to make sure I shout out perfectly Nintendo. They compiled all this footage, making it easier to go over. And I also got to shout out a particular website called Omega Metroid, who compiled all the information details. I'm going to be reading off their post while I show you the footage here in a little bit, and then give some of my thoughts, because this stuff, I mean, if you were excited by yesterday's stuff, or maybe a little I don't know about yesterday's stuff, this new stuff, oh man, it's great. And yeah. And what we'll probably end the video with when we get to the end is I'm going to replay part of the footage so you can hear some of the voice acting and other stuff, because I know there's been a lot of, discussion around a certain character. Well, there's other characters as well. And I'm curious if this additional voice acting stuff that you're hearing in the scenes, if it makes you feel any different than you did yesterday. All right, folks, before we dive in, I want to remind you we are giving away 5 copies of Kirby Air Riders. You can go ahead and enter through the link down in the description or the pinned comment. And here's the footage. And let me just dive into this article over on Omega Metroid. So today's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond information dump doesn't stop with that overview trailer or the expansive preview coverage. Nintendo also dropped a bunch of exclusive details on the game's Japanese website, including new screenshots, gameplay, and lore details. These include potential spoilers. Of course, for those that worry about it, obviously, this is all official information they want out there. For folks who might be sensitive to story and item details that haven't been featured in the other marketing materials as the time of this writing. We've gathered the biggest highlights below, but there's a lot more on the website that we didn't feature here. We've also included a note for when the written information was translated via Google Translate, as without a professional translator, it's prone to errors. It's also important to point out that the way in which English text is formatted when being translated can end up being blocked out sometimes by videos. So additional context come from some of the descriptions. All right. All of the highlights listed here are organized in order. We don't really care about that. Let's get into it. So FPA Metroid. It appears that the psychic grapple lasso, as we call it, is learned from the Feneros boss fight, as an item obtain animation featuring it takes place in an identical looking arena. We get a look at the ice shot and beam switching animation. The ice shot functions similarly to previous ice beam incarnations. The new Morph Ball gameplay is the Volt Forge, and that's what's being showcased. We're given a new look at the flame shot in action during the wolf pack scene. It takes out the wolves in a single shot. The new Rocky Armadillo boss that shoots ice projectiles is revealed. We get an extended look at the Feneros boss fight. It's possibly being possessed by one of Silux's Metroids, judging by the green weak points. However, these could be related to the green energy being mined from the magma in this area. Silux punches a hole out of a falling container and jumps out before it crashes. We see an extended clip of Lamorne Spirit giving guidance to Samus. The new Metroid variant is referred to as the Silux Metroid. Silux uses the mind-controlling Metroids to take over space pirate leadership, which is why he commands the army now. That's based on Google Translate. Vuros. New areas are revealed, including Chrono Tower, which is a floating tooth-like structure in the cover art, and the Great Mines. The Chrono Tower contains a trial site where chosen ones are certified. The top of the tower contains a master teleporter activation device and sleeping pods. After an event known as the Great Tragedy, the Lamorne created the Cybots to defend the tower, according to Google Translate. A new clip shows Samus waking up at the Kronos Tower, seemingly after the accident in the UTO research facility, as she still has her base Varia suit, and arm cannon. Samus is reaching out to an unknown figure or device, presumably the Chrono Tower. Fury Green is the home to the Sacred Tree and the Temple of Memory. It is believed the Lemorn would pray at the altar of the temple, and their memories would be transferred to the tree. The memories stored in the tree can be born as memory fruit. During the Machine Age, new technology was brought up to the temple, including a cargo launcher, which acts as a transport to Soul Valley. This is according to Google Translate. The Volt Forge is a vehicle manufacturing facility where Viola and its suit were prototyped and tested. Its power is indefinitely sustained through the lightning storm, which is used to harness the power for the facility. It's managed by an artificial intelligence made up of organic cells, according to Google Translate. We get new Viola footage in the Volt Forge that looks very different from the rest of the area, almost like a virtual world. It seems to take place on a test track, judging by the minimap. The Ice Belt is a research facility for the wildlife of Euros. It was constructed sometime after the Great Tragedy, according to Google Translate. The flare pool is a facility built inside of a volcano used to extract green energy from the magma within. This energy is then packed into a large shell and fired into Soul Valley. The intention was to use this energy to revitalize the plants and wildlife of the valley. This seems to be the same energy Samus can extract from the crystals using Viola, according to Google Translate. New Viola feature is shown off at the flare pool. It reveals a hover bike mode. Samus can use this to cross pools of magma. The Great Mines contained an interconnected network built by the Lemorn and were used to extract various minerals from the planet. This led to the discovery of the Vuros crystal, which transitioned the Lemorn from mechanically based technology to psychic abilities, according to Google Translate. The Spider Ball is confirmed to be returning in gameplay from the Great Mines. It will be used in tandem with the Morph Ball grapple beam ability. A new missile upgrade shows Samus charging the missiles up to fire a super missile, similar to Metroid Prime Hunters. Soul Valley was hidden underground areas that can be accessed and interacting with the Lemorn statues, according to Google Translate. The Troopers. A new suit upgrade resembles the light suit from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This page features voice clips for each of the teammates on our journey. Mackenzie is the mechanic and technician who specializes in repairing and upgrading equipment. He has a timid personality and doesn't do much, if any, frontline fighting, according to Google Translate. Takobi, this bounty hunter who enlisted in the Galactic Federation for a more stable life. He carries a talisman in the shape of a tiger and believes the charm has allowed him to survive numerous encounters. Duke, a veteran who has fought in several battles against the space pirates. He has a stubborn personality that leads to conflict with superiors, but also has a sincere and compassionate attitude that makes him a reliable presence on the battlefield. And there's Armstrong, who is a private first class of the Galactic Federation Army. She has extensive knowledge on vehicle diagnostics and operation. She has a very strong affection towards Samus. And then Vu 995 is the Galactic Federation android. It can pilot fighter jets, armored vehicles, and combat mechs on behalf of humans. It is not programmed with emotions, but has the ability to produce pseudo emotions in specific scenarios. All of that is according to Google Translate. Now, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is obviously coming out on December 4th. Now, this is awesome. We have some new screenshots to show as well that might not be in the footage. We'll make sure that we show some of this. They're kind of low res because they don't have like full-size images on the actual official website. They're just like little tiny ones. So when we blow them up, pay no attention to the resolution and blurriness. It's just to give you an idea of what is being shown. We'll show that here in a little bit once we get through some of this footage. Guys, I just got to say that, watching the footage and hearing these details, I'm honestly just even more hyped for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond than I was before. I don't really mind these characters. And if these are all the characters we interact with, that's actually not too many. If you actually think about the grand scheme here, that's what we're interacting with 5 characters. Obviously, maybe there's more, but these seem to be the core 5 that you're going to interact with the most throughout the journey. And I think that's all fine. I think they're all going to have their own unique personalities and all of that and their own purpose within the game. Obviously, they're not with you like at all times. They're doing different tasks and different things. You probably start by saving them all initially, and then they kind of do their own thing. I have no idea. Of course, we just know we save Mackenzie, that whether you like the person or not, he is someone that we save early on in the game. So I'm really looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It is honestly, now that Age of Imprisonment has come out, my most hyped game of the year, Age of Imprisonment has definitely matched my hype, and I am like super stoked at everything going on in the games. I continue to plow through it. I will have it beat before we get to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is obviously that next great thing, the next thing we all want to see. In fact, so much so that, I don't want to waste too much more time yapping over here. I want to show this footage again. I want to show it to you twice, and it's not to make this video extra long. It's actually because all the English voice acting is in here. So you have the Japanese subtitles with the English voice acting. This is all direct feed as well. So it's not just direct feed footage. There's no commentary. So it's just pure audio from the game. And I think that is always important to listen to get a good feel. So enjoy rewatching all that footage again. And you know what, guys? Hi. I'm Nathaniel Rovajans. I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of the footage.
Ice shot is slowing him down. Ta-da! clear.
This must be the master teleporter.
I can't believe it. We're actually going home.